Hey guys, doing a quick little show with the newest podcast to the Hangover Network, AAF Analyzed. Great little podcast. We talked all things AAF, what's to come, what's in the future of the AAF, what's going on with the bailout. Great little chat, 20 minutes. Take a listen. Hope you enjoy your weekend.
I don't know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
It's not.
It gets the people going.
Welcome to the Sports Hangover. This is a special edition. I'm bringing on the guys from AAF Analyzed, Analyzed, right? Or am I confusing because we talked about another guy before this?
No, you got it right.
Derek and Garrett. Yeah. How you guys doing?
Good. We're doing good.
So we're doing all things AAF. I've been hyping up AAF for I feel like years. I've been excited about another league coming in, and now we have one. And let's see, where did you guys get the love for AAF? When did you guys brew this love for AAF?
I can take that.
Go ahead, Derek.
So basically, Garrett and I kind of knew that we wanted to create a podcast at some point. And the way that we kind of did it off of is we saw that the AAF was starting real soon. We figured, hey, this was a good opportunity to kind of hop on the train. They seemed to convince us with how good their talent was, and from there we just started going at it, and it's really impressed us ever since.
Yeah.
And are you guys big NFL fans or other sports?
Yeah, big NFL guys. We, of course, play fantasy football every single year.
Of course.
We watch football with our friends all the time. But, like, for us, we were like, we're just a couple of college kids, so no one's going to really listen to us if we start, like, an NFL podcast or something. Like, it's going to be way harder to get recognition because there's so many of those.
For sure.
So Derek talked to me. He was like, hey, there's this new league called the AAF. And I was like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. And then I started to look into it more, and I fell in love, like, what it's all about. Like, the giving these guys a second chance to play. They get to play the game they love again. And they get to try to take another shot at the NFL. So we were like, I think this is a great league, and we thought this was a great opportunity for us, and we thought it was something we could really take advantage of. Of course, there are other AAF podcasts out there. As a matter of fact, there's a ton now, which is really awesome. But we just saw this as a space where we could work and, like, expand our voice in sports. So that's kind of how we fell into it.
No, but it's great. I mean, it's almost like everybody's starting. It's like if we went all the way back and started at the beginning of the NFL, you guys are right here at the forefront of AAF, which is great because now it's all starting. Everybody's the same knowledge base, everything like that. Tell a little people. I mean, some people don't know about the AAF yet. We're going on to week 3.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell people a little bit about what makes AAF a little bit different than the NFL? Why they should watch the AAF? I mean, I'm sure I've went into it many times, but you guys are the experts.
Yeah, experts.
Yeah, we'll take what we can get. The AAF, it's not the NFL, but it is American football in the spring. And if you missed football, or maybe your NFL or college team didn't do so well during their season, you can pick it up right back again and maybe pick a better team this time.
Yeah,
it is true. You can like choose a team right now at the beginning of the league.
Yeah.
And which team did you guys go with? Because I know you're both in two different places. Do you have different teams?
We try not to, like, say our allegiance because we are, like, a full league kind of thing. But, like, at the beginning, I know Derek was really hot on the Apollos. Like, that was his team that he had. Derek, you had the Apollos and the Commanders in your preseason prediction in the finals, right? In the championship. I was really hot on the Legends at the beginning. That's looking like a mistake right now for anyone who has actually followed the AAF. But
still early in the season.
Yeah, but I like the Legends at the beginning. But, like, I do love all the teams. I'll run through them real quick in case some of your listeners don't know what the teams are.
They can pick a team right now.
Yeah, a lot of them. There are a lot of Southern teams here. We have the Arizona Hotshots, the Salt Lake Stallions, the Memphis Express, the Orlando Apollos, the Birmingham Iron, the Atlanta Legends, the San Antonio Commanders, and the San Diego Fleet are the 8 teams that are right now in the AAF, but they're already, like, in talks about expanding it next season. So Derek and I are both betting the teams will probably move into the North because they pretty much have the South completely covered in teams right now.
And what did you guys think? So when I first heard about the names I thought it sounded very like you know when Madden sometimes they're doing a franchise and they're like, oh, you can expand to Seattle and have a new team. Yeah. It kind of sounded like one of these fake. All of them sound like fake teams in a way, and I don't think the jerseys helped either. Mm-hmm. They all seem, I don't know how to put it, just like so basic that we could have like Madden just generated it or something. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I never really thought of that before, but I guess now that you say it, they kind of do seem like something that the EA creators would make up on their own.
Yeah, like the Stallions and the Apollos, and it's just crazy that they just didn't really, because this was a shot to be the only spring football league this year, because next year the XFL is going to come in, and I feel like they're going to come in super hot. They're going to see maybe what the AFL did wrong or did right and try to take advantage of what they did. But the AF should have come in a little bit more pizzazz, I guess, like the names and the jerseys, because, you know, after 2 weeks of watching it, some of the games are much better than others.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's tough. You know who's going to tune in at what time, and I think they're being put up against pretty big, like, last weekend was the NBA All-Star weekend. This weekend is the Oscars. So it's kind of tough for people to get viewings or just eyes on the game. And what do you think about the $250 million from the owner of the Carolina Hurricanes coming in, basically writing checks for people for their paychecks that week? This scared me a little bit this week. I was like, oh, no, come on. We can't, like, lose this spring league in the second week. Did this scare you guys at all?
Yeah, so pretty much what happened was, I mean, when that was tweeted out, and I know a lot of people, there were a couple like sports guys, particularly who reported on the NFL, who were like, oh, this means that the AAF is going to fail. And that really got the AAF Twitter that I was talking about, like with all the podcasts and stuff, that really got them upset. That got them riled up because really it's not bailing out the league at all. The league made it clear that the lack of player payments and personnel payments was purely an electronic thing, and like it was a glitch in their payment system. It wasn't that they didn't have the money to pay the players. They did.
Okay, that's good.
The $250 million is literally just an investment. The owner of the Carolina Hurricanes, he likes what he's seeing from the league. He likes the AAF. It doesn't seem like it's a bailout. That's what most news outlets originally reported it as, a bailout.
Yeah.
But that's really not what it's looking like. It looks like they're going to be just giving them $250 million. He said, run with my investment. So like you were talking about the jerseys and things like that, I do think Starter's a great company. They have some really sweet starter jackets. They're really expensive on their website, but they look cool. But what a lot of teams are hoping for is they might get some away jerseys, things like that. So that's pretty much what it was. It wasn't a bailout. It was an investment in something that I can't remember the name. Do you know the name of the Hurricanes owner?
I do not off the top of my head. But
yeah,
he's now the chairman of the board, so he bought himself the highest seat he could get, which is, I mean, I think it's great. Yeah, when I first saw it, I thought, oh, this is good because other people are interested in it, and rich people are interested in it. It's like he just threw in $250 million, which is not, you know, just chump change.
His name is Tom Dundon, by the way.
Okay.
Tom Dundon.
All right.
And does he only own the Hurricanes, or does he own another team? I thought he owned something else.
Let's look.
Yeah.
But this is good for the AF because I was scared.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want this to go away in, 3 years and me, like, get all excited. And I'm from Florida, and I'm rooting for the Apollos, which they seem pretty good. And I thought they were, like, the one to root for just because of Steve Spurrier right off the bat. It seemed like he was the one that made it kind of
Derek has a man crush on Steve Spurrier. So
I wouldn't call it that.
I would call it a man crush.
It's okay. You're allowed to have some man crushes.
I really like what he's done with the team. I do think he's probably the best coach in the league.
Oh, yeah.
Man crush is a little bit strong, though.
And we're in the inaugural season. This is the first season that they're out there. This is going to be the third week of AAF football. Where do you see it? Say, like, I don't even know where they're going to play the championship game.
Las
Where do you
Vegas.
see it going? Like,
they're playing that.
So they are playing in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, it's close by. Maybe I'll go check it out. What's the future of the AAF? Like, what do you guys want to see out of it in 2020 when they have to compete with the XFL, and just now that they're another year older, because I feel like they're going to grow and they need to see what they've done wrong. But you guys have watched it real close for the last 2 weeks, and I know it's still early. But what do you think they need to do to step it up a little bit in the coming off season?
Yeah, so one of the things that I've noticed or that I really want to see is I want them to get an official partnership with the NFL, not just like what they have with the NFL Network, so to speak.
Yeah,
but
which is confusing when you try to find out where it's when they're on TV.
I want
it's everywhere.
Each team to have like a relationship with NFL teams to which when the season for the NFL ends, they're like, hey, we have 10 practice squad guys that haven't gotten any game time. Can we bring them down to you and get them some snaps so they're ready for next year?
And I like that idea. I was talking about that with somebody last night. I was somewhere and we were talking about how it could work. But is it – so if these guys, once the season's over, are they eligible to play in the NFL?
Yes.
Or is their contract strictly – so they are eligible to play?
They can leave. I think it's literally whenever they want. Like if an NFL team was like, hey, we'll sign you right now, they can leave.
So they can leave. So obviously it's the off season. So it's like if the guys were on practice squads on the Patriots, they could go down and play with the Apollos and be like, all right, cool. Like I'm going to play here and hopefully I get a shot next season. But it's weird because they're not going to be draft eligible, right? They're going to just be free agents that could just walk on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to be kind of like gray area. It's almost like if you were the Buccaneers and the Apollos are playing down the street, you could kind of poach off these guys and be like, hey, this guy looks pretty good. Let's get him on our team. So I wonder because they have to do something where there's almost like not a draft, but an eligibility to come in. And I don't think they're ever going to do all NFL teams aren't going to have a AAF affiliate because that'd be a lie. I mean, maybe one day.
Yeah.
But it seems like they need to do something where there's kind of a rule because I feel like it's going to get messy if all these guys start performing. They're like, oh, well, that coach is pretty good. Maybe we'll take him on or something like that. Right?
Well,
Yeah.
They said the goal during their like introductory speech from Charlie Ebersol was kind of like the goal is still to graduate to the NFL. He did use that exact word, graduate. So it's I don't really understand how they're going to pick teams, but as far as free agency goes, I doubt that all 32 teams are going to want one specific guy, so to speak. And if they were to get signed, I don't think they're going to become immediate starters. Not saying they're not talented, but I just don't kind of see that potential in them, so to speak, or people kind of going head over heels for them, and they're probably going to doubt them more so than you would think.
Well, yeah, but in a way, this is almost perfect for the NFL, right? Like the guys that were on your practice squad, or if you're looking for somebody during the off season and you're just sitting at home, you're a coach and you're watching this, you're like, oh, you know what? That wide receiver's not bad. Let's take a look at him in the off season. And I hope that's what it becomes. Then the talent pool in the NFL gets even better. And I just hope when the XFL comes into play, because they're going to be able to take on anybody from high school, basically, right? Just out of high school, you don't even need to go to college.
Yeah.
So I think they might have the leg up there a little.
I'm not sure. I don't know enough about the XFL to really comment on it, but the XFL seems like it's less of like trying to develop players into NFL players as a matter of it's like trying to make its own league and be like a little more showy and things like that. And it does just feel like the AAF is trying to get these guys better. It's trying to improve them on the football field so they can go and perform at that highest level of the sport. So I think it'll be interesting to see. I think, like you were talking about earlier, like how is the AAF going to succeed? How is it going to have to change and adapt? Like I said, they're going to expand teams. I wouldn't be surprised if they added 2 or 4 more teams next season, particularly depending on how well this season ends with viewership and things like that. We are only in week 3 of 10, and they haven't even played the championship. So,
do you guys know how the viewership's been? Because I know the first week was actually pretty decent. I don't know. I thought it declined slightly the second week.
The viewership first weekend was 2.9 million on that Saturday, which they were really excited about because there was an NBA game on at the same time. and it actually outperformed that in terms of TV ratings. So that was really good. I think the viewership is still good. I don't know the exact numbers. I know that the actual attendance at the games has also been solid. It's all been over 15,000 people at every game. Particularly
Antonio.
I was going to say the Commanders.
They
love it.
A really good fan base. They started out at like 27,000 week 1, and then they grew into week 2 and got it around 30,000 in the Alamo Dome.
Which
so
that
crazy.
was by far the biggest crowd.
And that's bigger than like the Los Angeles Chargers out here. They have a stadium that holds 30,000. They can barely get like 15,000 in there.
Yeah.
They should have left San Diego.
No, but
people. Yeah, LA's not a great place for sports teams when you're just coming into town. No one cares about sports, so there's a lot of other things to do out here. So it's kind of crazy.
Especially
we have so many teams.
And you had none for what was it like? 20
we have 2
years?
of everything. Yeah, 2 hockey teams, 2 baseball teams, 2 football teams.
Does Anaheim
2 soccer
count,
teams? I think it's within the city limits or close to it. I mean, I count Anaheim as like the Ducks and the Angels. They're all close by. You can count them if you want to.
They're close enough.
They're definitely close enough. But yeah, no one really cares out here. It's so weird. Even the Chargers, the Rams, they were in the Super Bowl. Not that many people really were into the Rams, which was insane. But that's LA for you. All right, so guys, this weekend, which game, if people are just like, all right, I figured out what the AAF is, I want to watch a game, what game should they watch this weekend?
Well, I think it's sad that the
first.
best game of the week that we talked about in our podcast is on Bleacher Report Live mainly. So that would be Arizona versus Salt Lake, and we think that's the best game. It's still getting streamed on AAF's website if you wanted to watch it for free. But the main streaming device for it would be Bleacher Report Live.
And you guys come out, you do a podcast twice a week, correct?
Yep.
Twice a week, is it Monday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Thursday?
It's every Friday and Monday. Fridays we do
totally off
we do we do the game previews on Friday, so we'll give you like our keys to the game, what you want to watch for, what players you want to watch. Those aren't necessarily our fantasy stars, but like just guys who might have an impact on a game. I tend to focus a lot on the defensive side of the ball, looking at cornerbacks, linebackers, defensive linemen who might really change the game for the team. And then we also give potential fantasy stars as well as a little segment we call our Plug and Pass, where we tell you players to plug into your daily fantasy, because there are some daily fantasy things, as well as a season-long fantasy league at altsportsfantasy.com. I think that's what the website is. But it's just some guy who made the website, and they have season-long fantasy, which is really cool. But yeah, so we give you players to plug into your lineup, players to pass on, and Derek and I both give a power player for the week, who is pretty much the one we see as guaranteed to be doing well. And then Mondays are game recaps. We just run through all of the games. We tell you what to watch, what we watched for, what happened, why it happened, how it happened, all that good stuff. And then we give a little segment like what we got right, what we got wrong. And we just talk about the teams and give a general rundown of their week there.
Yeah, we also
pick
games, and Garrett is not doing very well at that.
I'm not.
In case you forgot. I'm currently 7-1.
You never let me
play. Garrett's 5-3. So if you want to kind of see who we think will win the games, you can also listen in for that. We've made it a competition at this point, to which I come out to the early lead.
Do you guys gamble on the games at all?
No. Are we allowed to?
Not at all.
Are we old enough?
No.
It's on. It's on the sports books. You can gamble like online. I'm sure in Vegas too. I think they have it. It's not like crazy like the NFL, a ton of props, but you can bet on the games. It seems like Vegas is pretty in tune with it right now, because what are like your 2 picks this weekend that you're the locks? I can check the sports book real quick.
Locks?
Let me see what they got.
Our locks for the 2 middle games. We both had Birmingham over Atlanta, and we both had picked
the Apollos over the Express.
Apollos over the Express.
Yeah, those are 2. If you were to bet, those are the ones that you would probably want to bet on, because they're playing
the Apollos, and then who else?
The Iron.
The Iron. Okay, yeah. So the Iron, their favorite, minus 255. -7, and then the Apollos are -15.5. That's a big point spread. So it's kind of it's weird because it's so new, and I know a lot of people that bet the first week and they bet the overs, and I know there wasn't anybody that scored over 20 points or something.
The Apollos ran away with their one game. Yeah, they scored 40.
The Apollos were the only good. Which is crazy. So. Yeah, gamble on it. Maybe next week I'll do my study research this week on all the games, and I'll try to pick some gambling picks on these. These are tough.
Yeah, that'd be fun. No, like talking about like the first week in particular, like even the NFL has crazy first weeks. Like the first 3 weeks of this season, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers looked unstoppable. So like particularly with the AAF, this is their first season ever. So particularly these first 2 weeks have been kind of crazy. Third week, I'm sure it's going to be crazy again. And I wouldn't doubt if the craziness continues for the rest of the season. Probably near the end, near the championship, you'll see what the really best teams are and what the worst teams are. And I'm sure stuff will get switched around in the off season and things like that. But that's one of the reasons why I like to watch it so much, because it's something brand new. Something we don't know everything about. You don't know that Tom Brady is on the best team, perhaps the best quarterback. You know that they're probably going to go to the playoffs. You don't know if any of these teams are going to make the playoffs this time around. You don't know what's going to happen, and I think that's one of the reasons you should watch, just because it's so new. I think that makes it awesome.
Talking about the playoffs, what are the rules for the playoffs? How many teams? Because there's not that many teams, so I imagine it's like a 4-team playoff or something like that?
Yeah, it's 4 teams.
Yeah, 4 teams, top 2 teams in each side of the divisions make it. So top 2 teams in the East play each other, top 2 teams in the West play each other, and then they'll meet in Las Vegas for the championship game.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not sure about home field advantage. I'm sure it'll go to the team that has the better record. I haven't looked at that, but yeah.
Vegas is a neutral site where they're playing?
Correct.
Yeah.
It's
Vegas
at the UNLV Stadium.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. That's going to be exciting. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming on. Thanks for joining the Hangover Network. We're excited to have you.
Yeah, we're excited too.
It's going to be great. So every Monday and Friday, I got it now.
Yeah.
AAF Analyzed. You guys are doing it. I'm excited. Everybody should tune in all season long. We're going to have you guys back on, hopefully mid-season, maybe around like the playoff push.
Yeah.
We'll get you back on the show. But thanks for coming on, and everybody go download the show.
Yeah.
All right, see you guys.
Thanks for having us.